The Ekka marks the climax of celebrations for one of the enduring links between Brisbane and the bush, the Queensland Country Life newspaper. For 3/4 of a century, it's taken the agri-economic pulse, as well as the political, environmental and social issues that swirl around the Sunshine State.
Some company names give you no clue to what they actually do, but not rural press. These days, rural press is part of the Fairfax Group, so its new $25 million printing press is rarely idle, churning out local daily editions of the Sydney Morning Herald and the Financial Review, as well as the North Queensland Register. But it's the Country Life that's been the mainstay for 75 years. And for some Queenslanders, it's just about been the only source of news they've got from the outside world.
Years and years ago, we went to a cattle property called Tandora at the mouth of the Mary River. There's an old chap there, he was like tanned leather, he was a tough old bloke. And we said, you know the Country Life? He said, I'd rather miss my brekkie than my Queensland Country Life. And that's where we got a slogan from. And that was a genuine, unprovoked, unsolicited comment from this gentleman.
QCL's been a major part of Malcolm McCosker's life too. Over the past 50 years, he's done just about everything but print it.
I guess I just love the country people, love the work. There's nothing finer than to get in a car, head out bush and say I'm being paid to do this. And you see the evolution of agriculture as I've seen it for nearly 50 years, and that's been a marvellous thing. Great changes in agriculture, but not very little change in the attitude of country people, their hospitality, their graciousness and their acceptance of you.
And it's pretty much been that way through good seasons and bad, commodity price booms and busts, straight shooters and crooked politicians. No one's kept an ear closer to the ground in the bush than Malcolm McCosker and his mates. And as luck would have it, most of the interest in this year's federal election campaign is right in Queensland's backyard.
There's still plenty of political clout in the bush. I would never underestimate how much clout's out there. The biggest problem the bush has is the divisiveness of rural industry itself. And it's certainly a divided industry, and industries within agriculture are certainly divided. So it's really about agriculture getting its act together.
By comparison with a lot of his staff, the current editor is a Johnny-come-lately. He's only been here since 1987. Still, the changes since then have been dramatic enough, most of them technological, and invariably involving doing more with less.
Yes, certainly every editor on the planet wants more reporters, more journalists, more photographers. But technology has changed the industry incredibly. You know, everyday people, and certainly lots of our readers send us material, so we've got a lot more reporters effectively now than we ever have. Certainly we probably don't have as many journalists, but we certainly have more reporters for us.
And what are they telling you they want to see?
I guess the biggest change has been the role of advocacy for rural industry. And people want to see a better deal for agriculture. And it's certainly an industry in Australia that plays second fiddle to a lot of other issues.
A lot to offer in most herds. Once again,
but for 1 week a year, the bush still muscles its way into Brisbane and plays second fiddle to no one. And everyone, it seems, wears a big hat, whether they've got cattle or not.
The ribbon! The ribbon out! The ribbon! Stretch it! Good.
When it comes to doing this sort of thing, the bloke in the pink shirt is one of the best in the business. He's Rod Green, chief photographer for the biggest rural paper in the state, Queensland Country Life.
One animal will take a minute or 20 minutes, depending on the beast. You find that British breed cattle are a lot easier. They're more placid. To the Bosindicus, like the Brahmins, Santas, they're pretty intelligent, and they get not stary, but they're awake up to what's happening, and they're a bit difficult.
Lovely. In an era when so much of the media is more about stories with sizzle rather than sausage, Around here there's still clearly strength in continuity and more traditional values. But for how much longer?
I think that's my reports of my death are a bit premature. I think at the end of the day, quality journalism will always sell. We've certainly embraced the internet, and a lot of our readers have embraced it as well. But the print product is selling as well as ever, and at the end of the day, it's about what the words and images and what the content is that matters.
Has it got another 75 in it?
I think it's got another 75 or 175. I attended a seminar at New England University at one stage.